One of the most integral people in my life was my grandmother named Marilee Roberts. This poem is a dedication to her. She wasn't the Bengay and Matlock type, nor is she an expert in household chore techniques or even chocolate chip cookie recipes. She didn't have an oversized grumpy cat or some undersized chirpy dog, but there were parakeets within her heart that kept her company when loneliness set in. She grew up in Pendergrass. That's somewhere in north central Georgia, so just deep enough in the south that one could actually see the surface. As a child, she would love to observe the flight patterns of turkey vultures. She loved the way that their feathers frayed through the southern sky because where she was from, they were the only things breaking the color line. The experts say that these buzzards shared the same soaring shadows as bald eagles, so sitting there, feeling like a carcass, simultaneously she found freedom. So her mother put her and her sister on the first feather that they could find up north because they heard that up there, Jim, he doesn't clip his crow's wings. So her mother became the first Nubian in Queens to own her own palace. This was back when there was actually enough Big Apple to go around the table. In 1995, on a family vacation, I went to visit this place for the first time. Upon anticipation of patio rocking chairs, bear claw bathtubs, and cypress floors, I was greeted by a hoarder's paradise. Priceless papers were piled to the ceiling. The only place to sit was on the back patio, and there, surrounding all of us, were stacks upon stacks of bird cages. Hundreds of them, no birds, just wrought iron bridged by welding joints in Victorian fashion. All of these devices of entrapment were constructed in such beauty, I didn't know what to think. You see, last week, I was at the thrift store and I came across a vintage bird cage. I stood there staring and wondering, why is there so much beauty here? But that took me back to my Nana and how it must have felt losing her son, husband, and the civil rights movement at the same time. And I began to think, what better way to defend for someone's freedom than to collect those things that bind us, by leaving just one less cage in the world and ensuring another scene of formless flight. So I started to wonder, how many people did this woman set free? Was she or my father, with a one-way Greyhound ticket in hand and sunglasses on the back of his neck, preventing him from pausing in the past, could head to the Mile High so he didn't have to feel that low again? Was she the miracle that made my mother follow him to the mountains? Did she swoop my grandfather to cancer's misery? Does she hold the keys to my throat? Did she stitch my cousins into the Blue Angel Air Force Falcons that they became? Could you feel like you were in a civil rights movement in your own backyard? Let me tell you something. When your time comes, how many people will you selfishly unshackle? How many doors will you leave open? How many bars will you bend or file through? Did you make sure that the perches around you were occupied? Did you tend to their feathers? Did you feed them enough wisdom before their takeoff? When the cage bird sings, did their hymns rattle the locks, or did you swallow their tunes when the doves cried? Did you give any weight to their tears, and when that rooster crowed, did you empower it to fly? Nana, why'd you have to go? When we sat around your coffin, I think we all knew that your soul was soaring above us. Your feathers, they were fraying the sky. Everyone in attendance was just a cage that you collected. Thank you.